Hello people, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about APS certificate. In this video, I will cover every minute step right from scratch, explaining what is APS until answering all frequently asked questions. So without any further delay, let's get into this video. The very first thing is, what is APS? It is a certificate issued verifying our academic certifications credibility. It actually verifies whether our documents are genuine or not. There's no other black magic in this. This is not for free. We have to pay 18,000 rupees to get this certificate. We are not paying this to any agency. We are actually paying it to Government of Germany. The next one is how to apply. It is an online application followed by document courier to the New Delhi office. Okay. Now I will show you procedure for online application. Okay. Let's do it. And just open this website. As soon as you open it, just click on apply. See, here you have to create an username, password, and this username can be your name or whatever you want, but this username should be without spaces. See, I'll just show you for an example. If I create with space, it is not going to accept me, but let's check. See, it is showing like invalid username, only alphabets, numbers and something is allowed, so gap is not there. If you remove that gap, then it's going to accept it. So after doing this, just click on next, and here you have to upload a photo which is less than 30 KB. If your photo is not less than 30 KB, you just search like compress photo to 30 KB. Automatically you will get some online websites where you can do that. I did, and later I just downloaded it to 17 KB something. Now I'll be uploading that photo. It works. And here you have to enter all our details. Like I'll just show you by entering all this. Like our first name is our name, last name is our surname. Then you have to enter our mail IDs. Then enter gender, nationality, Indian. Just enter your date of birth. Make sure whatever you are entering is correct. So please do not make any mistakes while doing it. Okay. See, you are paying 18,000 rupees. It's not free of course. So please be cautious. Once it is done, it is actually asking your Aadhaar number, passport number, which is very important. And you have to enter your contact number too. Don't mind, I'll blur all my details. Before actually preparing for the application, I strongly suggest you to keep certain things ready. So after seeing this, you might definitely get to know like what are the things you should be prepared before application. Then just enter your address. The first line you can just enter your door number. The second line your street name, then city, state, your country, and zip code. Once you have done with this, then just click on next. Here you have to enter your 10th class details. Let me show my documents if possible. You have, if you consider your intermediate, here you have like Board of Intermediate Education. Similarly, even you'll be having like Board of Secondary School Education. You have to enter that detail. If you are from CBSE board, you might have a different name. So check your certificates and enter Board of Secondary Education. And which year you have passed your 10th standard. That is important. You need not to write your 10th standard center number. It's completely optional. Here you have to write your CGPA or percentage. There they have written it like 10th percentage, but it need not to be your percentage. It can even be your CGPA. Okay. Into class 12. Similarly, Board of Intermediate Education. If you have a different board name, just please mention it. Then 12th passing year. Write your 12th center number. You can just directly write your percentage. If you have a percentage, you can write your percentage. If you have CGPA, you can write your CGPA. You need not to worry about that. And JEE main score and advanced score, if you have, you can mention it. It is optional. And instead of intermediate, if you have completed your diploma, just enter your diploma details here. Then just click on next. Here you have to enter your bachelor education details. And if you have any other additional degree like masters or something, you can even enter it. See, here you have options. Still studying in bachelor's, completed bachelor's. For example, if you are going to graduate in 2025 May, and if you are planning for 2025 winter semester, you should start your application by 2024 November itself, because for some university application periods will start by November and it will end by January, and for some universities it might end by December 30th itself. For example, if that university is requesting for an APS certificate while application, you definitely need to have an APS certificate by that time. In that case, you might have only 6 semester mark sheet. In that case, you can just put it like still studying in bachelor's. During application, if you are studying, just put it like still studying. Or else, if you are planning for 2025 summer intake and your bachelor's will complete by 2025 April or May. Consider you are applying it in April and by April did not complete your degree. Even in that case, you have to put it like still studying in bachelor's. For example, if you are applying it in June, by this time you have completed your bachelor's but you may not have your provisional certificate. In that case, you can just put like completed bachelor's. I hope you are clear. Like based on the time of application, consider it. If your results were announced, you can just put it like completed bachelor's. If your results were not announced, you have to put it like still studying. See, every college might be affiliated to some universities. For example, I am from Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College. But my college is permanently affiliated to Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur. And please do not write it like JNTUA. If you have some abbreviations, please do expand it and write. People might be asking like, is it okay if you write in small letter? Is it necessary to be written only in capital letter? It's completely optional. There is nothing particular about it. What is the course pursued? What is the duration? Duration is 4. Subject specialization is Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Course pursued is Bachelor of Technology. If they have like Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Science, you have to write it. And some people might have like Bachelor of Engineering. So just verify it clearly and write. Then you have to write your passing year. These all are optional, but I strongly recommend you to write. Here you have 2 tabs to make. You can either mention your bachelor percentage or it can even be your bachelor CGPA. You can just enter it. Now coming to this 3 columns. These 3 are really very important. If you fill the first 2, third one could be optional. If you do not have first 2, third one is definitely mandatory according to me. See, if your college have any sort of student portal where you have an student account, and if your results are announced over there, you can provide that login credentials. See, during 2008 we used to have, but right now I don't have, so I could not do it. Even this will be question for so many people. You might be applying for masters after 4-5 years of your education and you may not have an active student portal. In that case, you can ignore it. But in the column of bachelor professor email ID, definitely you have to get an email ID from your professor. It need not to be a professor who taught you. It can be even your HOD, it can be your principal, it can be anyone of your register from an examination section or something. You will definitely receive an email from APS. During that time, they have to respond to that email ID saying that yes, so and so student studied in a university, college or something. And this mail IDs, if you enter something @gmail.com, it is not going to be considered. You definitely have to enter their professional mail IDs. For example, we have @vidyaniketan.edu. Mail ID should be in this format, like other mails cannot be considered. And apart from this bachelor education, if you have any other education like masters or something, you can mention here. And if you do not have any other things to submit here, you can just click on next. And coming to this testers, everything and all, this is exclusively for the people who are applying for bachelors. Applying for bachelors would write this exam. So if you are applying for masters, you can just completely ignore this and click on next. Even this language details, if you have a language certification, you can just enter it. If you do not have, you can completely ignore it. It is completely optional. You need not to worry about it. If you need any proof, I'll even show it to you. Just wait a minute. Just open on FAQs. Like so many people who are arguing with me saying that IELTS is mandatory for APS. I'm clearly saying you that IELTS is not at all mandatory. For APS verification process, candidates are not required to meet any specific language requirements, while candidates may submit language certificate voluntarily. It is clearly written over there. You need not to submit your language certificates. It's completely volunteer. Language certificate concept is clear now. So you can, if you have, you can put, or else you can just completely ignore. This is the final stage where you have to make your payment. See, here you have 2 options, which is like offline payment. In this option, you will actually send money to their bank account. And in the other option, CC Avenue, you will make an online payment. Once it is done, you can just click on submit. Okay, let me show you even that. Not going to pay because I do not need. Here you'll get a two options like pay later and pay now. Just click on pay now and just enter your billing details. Enter all those details. Here you have an option. You can even pay through credit card. You can even pay through debit card. You can make an net banking using any banks. You can even make like from any wallets if you have. Or you can even make an UPI payments. It's completely optional. Or you can even make an while doing UPI payments because of the transaction timeout or for UPI payments. It's completely like directly redirecting it to the home might get this way. Even in that case, you need not to worry. Wait, even now, cancel transaction. Few people might get this way, like payment fail. Here I cancelled manually, but in few situations it is getting cancelled automatically. Let me try once. Let me log in. If it get login or not, I'm not so sure. See, once it is done, this is how your payment, your entire portal might look. You can just click on my account after submitting. See, consider this as a successful submission. I'm just trying to show it to you like what are the next possible steps you should do. You have to go to this application download and download this application. See, here in this application, you might get all the details. You have to verify it. See, this is the photo which I have uploaded, and this photo is completely enough. You need not to stick any photo upon this. This is the document you need not to download. Stick any photo upon this. See, here in my payment status, it is showing cancelled. In few people cases, they mention me that it is showing pending even after a successful payment. Even in that case, you need not to worry. If you made a successful transaction, however, we are going to attach the transfer receipt. So you need not to worry. In other cases, let me consider as like similar case. While doing, the transaction might time out and the payment automatically got cancelled, but everything was submitted. What to do now? In this case, we have another thing like offline payment, right? Right now, we can go to this requirement checklist. Just click on here in the checklist. Here at the end, they have given the bank details like where to transfer the amount. In the case of automatical cancellation of your online payment, you can make payment to this bank account and attach the transfer receipt. This could be a technical glitches that might happen in between. So you can just ignore all those and you can just make a transfer like bank transfer and attach that receipt. Like however, as I open this checklist now, our documents are successfully completed and our online application part is done. The next step to be followed is we have to courier the documents which is mentioned in this checklist. Now let's go to go through this checklist. The very first thing they have written is printed and duly signed application form with passport size photo not older than 6 months. See, so many people are actually getting worried in this. See, previously I have showed you this form. Enough. You need not to print any photo upon this. Duly signed application form. This form, you need not to sign it separately. The photo which is here is sufficient. You need not to stick your photo again. But here, when you open this requirements checklist, here we are getting this student authorization letter, which we have to download. This is the form that we are going to sign. You have to check this box, write your name and your date of birth, and then write the date when you are sending, your place and signature. So this is the first thing. Then the second one is copy of APS fee transfer receipt. And if you make any online payment, I think you might even get an email ID stating that your payment is successful. You can even just take a printout of that, or bank transfer proof. You can take that. Then you have to send even a copy of your Aadhaar card, then copy of your passport. It's not just one page. Both pages of passport should be there, like the front page and the last page. Then copy of class 12 mark sheet and certificate. Like few people might get confused by the name mark sheet and certificate. Sheet or certificate, whatever names they mention. Your 10th and 12th standard certificate, just submit. Here they did not mention about 10th standard because even while applying for the university, they actually consider our 12th. It is considered as our entry education for universities, right? Like bachelor education. So that is the reason why they mentioned 12th. But we can even attach our 10th. Then 12th, you can just ignore your 10th, 12th admit card. Copy of mark sheets of all semesters. See, it is clearly written over here that we have to send semester wise mark sheet. Like so many people have asked, I have missed so and so semester mark sheet. Is it okay if I send only the cumulative mark sheet? No, you have to send semester wise mark sheet. Even if you miss, apply for the duplicate, because here we are not sending any original copies. We are sending the photocopies of all the documents. So you can even get the Xerox copy of it and we can attach. The next document is copy of bachelor degree. In the case of degree has not yet been issued, the provisional certificate issued by the college will be accepted. So many questions might arise here. The people who have completed their bachelor degree, they might have their final, like original degree they may have. Or if they have completed recently, they might have only the provisional certificate. Even if they have completed immediately, and if they did not get the provisional certificate, or if they are in the 7th semester and applying for APS with the 7th semester mark sheets, in that case, I strongly recommend you to take a bona fide certificate from your college stating that so and so candidate is pursuing so and so degree and he will be completing his bachelor's by so and so month. Or if you have completed your bachelor's and if you did not get your provisional certificate yet, take the bona fide certificate from your university mentioning that so and so candidate from so and so degree has got so and so result. His or her provisional certificate is yet to be issued. So I request you to consider this as an replacement. You can actually take a bona fide certificate in this way. This will definitely work. After this, if you have any other master degree and those transcripts, you have a copy of language certificate like German or English. It is not mandatory. It is optional. I have clearly showed it in FAQ session previously. See, apart from this, here the printed and duly signed application form is considered as your submission form plus this student authorization form. This together is considered as that form. If you miss this consent form, it will not, your application will not be forwarded or considered. So please do not miss any of this application form. So now I hope you are completely clear with this application process. Now let's get into this frequently asked questions about this APS certificate. Definitely I'll try to cover most of the questions. If you still have any other doubts, you can just contact me later. Now talking about the frequently asked questions in APS, the very first thing I would like to answer is about this, the recent update, H plus minus status. See, they have clearly mentioned that Indian private universities having H plus or H minus will not be considered to issue an APS certificate from 18th of June. If you guys have already got an APS certificate and if your university is like H minus or H plus or minus, please do not worry, you are eligible to apply. They said that people with so and so from 18th of June will not be issued APS. So without APS, they cannot apply for student visa and they cannot come to masters to study here in Germany. If you already have, it's totally fine. And one more thing, it might be a loophole or something. There they have mentioned it like Indian private universities. They did not mention about Indian state universities. So many people are asking like, my university is H plus minus or H minus, what to do now? See, if your university is state university, then I hope you are on a safer hand. But this is not officially mentioned by APS anywhere. But as per that statement, if we decode it properly, it is clearly Indian private universities. So I hope people, if you are from state universities and if it is H plus or H minus, I believe it will be considered. But yet let's wait for some more days. Definitely APS will answer on this. And the people who have clearly H minus and from private universities, we are extremely sorry. Like you guys cannot get your APS certificate. Then apart from this, the next question is, I have submitted the application. After submission and downloading the submission form, I have found that I made some errors. What to do now? I cannot edit it online. What to do now? That is the reason why I am mentioning it several times while applying. Please do verify it twice or thrice or even more, because it is not for free. We are paying it 18,000 rupees. So please be cautious while applying. In worst case, if you have missed something, please write a handwritten letter. You have to write it manually. It should not be a printed one. Write it manually mentioning that you did a mistake and so number, and you are providing so and so certificate as proof of correctness. In that case, they would definitely consider this. But if you realized it after sending your documents, I'm seriously not so sure if it will be considered or not. In that case, please try to write an email to the APS mentioning that the subject line should be your name and your submission number, and just write it as precise as possible. Please do not write stories. They will definitely do not read. Please write it precisely saying that I'm so and so with so and so passport number and this. In my application form, I did this mistake. I realized it very lately. I request you to consider this. Please initiate this kind of email IDs and let's hope for the best. Apart from this, we cannot do anything. In coming about the verification call center, see, during verification process, the possibility chances of verifying a document is through our student portal credentials what we gave, or it can even be from an email to the professor mail ID what we have submitted, or it can even be from the DigiLocker. Some people might get verification call. At that time, they might tell you that they have sent an email to your professor. They can even ask you your DigiLocker credentials. So please be prepared. And in this case, many people are actually mentioning that, what if we miss a call from APS? No proper answer. They have, I think in their Instagram somewhere, they have mentioned the number of APS from which they are going to call you. So please save that number. If not, you ask your parents to pick it. If your parent or someone inform them to call back within some short time, definitely they would do. And they are not going to just stop considering your application if you do not pick call for one time. Definitely they'll call you back, or they will even drop you an email. So please check your emails regularly, and please do not put your phone in silent mode. Please. And apart from this, like how to send us documents, like you can either do it in DHL, DPD, DTC, but I do not recommend Indian Post because it will deliver it very slowly. Your APS application process actually starts by the date when they receive our documents. It's not when we actually submit it online. They will consider after receiving the documents, like the hard copies. So make sure that you send documents as soon as possible, and make sure you are sending the correct documents. The next question could be duration. See, once upon a time, it used to take 4 to 5 months, but right now they are issuing even for 25 days, 30 days and 45 days, until and unless if there is no mistake in your application form. If you did something wrong, and if your professor is not responding to your email IDs, or if you provided a wrong email ID, you cannot expect your APS certificate on time. So please make sure that you are providing all the correct details. And the next thing is, so many people might be asking me, can you tell us some tips on how to get APS certificate faster? The only way is fill all the necessary details. Provide your professor mail ID for sure. If you have your student credentials, please provide it for sure. And please do not provide your professor personal mail ID. That will definitely delay your process. Please provide their professional mail ID. That would definitely help. And apart from this, I strongly recommend you to ask your professor to initiate email ID voluntarily from his end, saying that to assist APS in his verification process, I am dropping this email confirming that so-and-so candidate with so-and-so things is from our university. Like he can write everything. Like I will try to provide this draft email ID in the description. You can just verify it. I strongly believe with this one video, so many doubts about APS will definitely be clarified. But still, if you have any doubts, please do comment. And if you have any bitter experiences or whatever, whether it might be bitter or fruitful or whatever, please do share your experience about APS in the comment section. So definitely it will be helpful for the other people who are applying newly, or who are just waiting for their APS certificate, or who are about to apply. So for everyone it will be useful. So please do drop your experiences in the comment section. I hope this video will be helpful. If you like this video, please like it, share it, subscribe it, and click the bell icon too. And one more thing, as I mentioned in my previous videos clearly, I am offering mentorship program for the people who are planning for the masters in Germany. I will be assisting them right from APS certificate till they reach Germany and with the initial steps in Germany. It's not like I am going to do something on behalf of them. It is like I make sure that student understand what he is doing under my guidance. So he need not to worry whether he is doing it right or wrong, because I will be monitoring. It's not like a message monitoring or something. I will be connected in call, like it's always one-to-one meeting during every application. I'll tell them what to write, what to enter, everything. Even they will get to know like what they are doing. See, if for example, if a third person is coming and asking them a doubt, they should be in a position to answer it, instead of saying that I don't know, some other else is doing my process. It should not be in that way. So that is the reason why I started this mentorship. If you are interested and if you want to know details about it, you can just text me on Instagram. So until next video, take care, bye bye.